I'm a good
I'm going to quite the overcome your budget.
Yeah, I'm a US.
Oh, I'm to another zone. Why?
I'm now going.
You not saying shine.
Argument.
Pastor, maybe every year, but being honorable man. Counselor.
Yeah.
Pastor, Edruce.
That's it. Maybe I will call you.
Yes, also, it's a continuation, right?
Yeah.
But so how do you train your stepchild?
No, how to manage your stepchild.
How to manage that word I keep forgetting because I didn't think we can use that on parent and a child relationship.
It's management.
A counselor said as a stepmother, Uber manage stepchildren.
Well, there are two things when it comes to parenting. Either you deal with or you manage. There are two things. So they didn't come and say, how do you manage a stepchild?
Yeah, how do you manage?
And last week, and to be about because now a 6 match.
Yes.
Paris, Echo share say Ghana 67th Independence Day.
Yeah.
Sana Echo Nanyamia Kwa ya sang Abba. But emissary and Commano Echo Neko ye. Adia ba ko abdamin body tell na me to am nkomodi no so say ye ma abusua shede honorable a wafi muko deputy minister wafi muko but if you two ba ko na mbese me de man yere say grieving the loss must be grieved properly within the 5 stages of grieving. One of the things you should know, the first stage, everybody goes through the state of denial. You go to anger, you go to bargaining, you come to a portion where you want to say, well, reality has set in.
From denial, you go to anger.
Yes. Yeah, you deny, then you go to bargaining. And each of them have their stages in life. Yes. That yes. If you get very angry, then you see Ninjin is saying a prayer. From sorry, you know, that kind of thing will come inside. So before you arrive at acceptance, a lot of things will happen. But my pain with her is that the way she is responding to every issue on the internet,
surrounding her,
somebody should tell her to stop. It is not a sign of a widow. The fact that you know what might have killed your husband doesn't give you the right to speak.
Right?
Yes, she has no right to speak.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I'm using my words well.
Right.
She has not gotten the right to speak
against
any statement that anybody says about the demise of the husband.
Why not?
Remember, the comment is that she has no right to speak.
Yes.
Against any statement that anybody is making around the demise of the husband.
And why not?
She has to remain as a widow in this time, help to go through her grieving stages. Because if you don't take her, in the midst of your worry and hurt, you might say what must not be said. Because as we said, the autopsy report is a private thing that is meant for the family. And if anybody says that Councilor died because of toilets, because of water, because of mango, whatever it is, leave them to be. And as a widow, you don't talk. But I think she's responding to too many nonsense, too many sense, and too many issues, especially the one that I chanced on with her, what she said, and Prophet Niger Gazi, that Gazi came back to respond okay of her. Is nasty, it's not good. And if she comes to respond, Niger Gazi might also say something else again. So I want to plead with the family that when your husband dies, and I would right. And the time is so the fact that you know that your husband maybe will pass on based on the underlying condition. Whatever anybody says, shut up and focus on the management of the loss of your husband. Because no matter how bad a man is, nobody can replace your husband. As difficult and nasty and foolish as your husband may be to you now, you can't get a replacement. Because whoever you go for might be better than what you have left, or will not be closer to what you have left, or might be what you have wished for and you didn't get. So husbands, that we lose them are difficult. And remember that when a wife dies, it's not so painful like when a husband dies.
But why are you like this? Why do you do this? How is it not as pain? Why? You people that you can't function without your wife. You are saying that when the wife dies.
But it's not difficult for her to get new wives when our wife dies. Because we don't do widowhood rights. It is women who go through widowhood rights. Men don't go through it. We choose to do it. No, we choose to.
You don't choose to.
No, hello. I can remember when you're a baller. Tell them that they should do the right thing. Do you know what widowhood right is? Widowhood right is where a woman is lying with her husband and your husband passes. The family will want to observe you for 9 months if you took a seed so that you don't take a baby anywhere. That's all it is. There's nothing about it again. Okay. It's an observation of seeing whether the woman is pregnant. And men don't get pregnant. So when a wife dies, it is not as painful as when a husband dies. And when you lose your husband, it's difficult for another man to come and marry because they don't know what killed your husband. So mind you, when a woman loses
when the wife dies, they don't care about what killed her.
Even at the wakekeeping of your wife, you might have a lovely woman to caress you, kiss you,
and you would allow.
If you don't allow, what is a male organ meant for?
Counselor, at the wakekeeping of your wife, that's why you want to use your male organ.
Even the undertaker of my wife can be a sex mate that night.
No, but your wife is dead, and she didn't.
Let the dead bury their dead. Who is dead?
Huh.
I mean, why do you glorify the dead one? You are a foolish woman to be waiting after a 38-year-old girl. Your husband died when you were 32 by accident, and you are 38 now, joining the widowhood club, begging for alms. You are a stupid woman with no apologies. Bible says that never give to a widow that is not above 60 years. Encourage them to marry, otherwise they'll become gossipers. Let's not glorify. It's Bible. Let's not glorify widowhood rights. Please. So if your husband dies, it's very painful. So those of you who want to kill your husbands, remember that it will be difficult for you to get somebody else to marry you.
Anyways, well, it's about 2 days.
So that
ginger honey chips by Council Trust Foundation. I am also the DD. I just the foundation for health, for diabetes and asthma. It's in the ginger honey chips. Who be able to yeah, reception home. If you want, I now you'll be told ginger honey chips now. Like a co-founder, like that.
Yeah, the process goes to the foundation.
All of it, or some of
it. If you do all of it, then you're not a business person. Because what's the capital that you're using to produce your thing?
Okay, sir. I was just a question.
No, some of the questions you shouldn't ask because I'll answer you. So my word has gone to the woman. She needs counseling. Stop talking.
She should stop talking.
She shouldn't behave like she knows that the husband will die. It will be difficult for her to marry again if she doesn't stop talking.
Why why with the way she's talking, have you got the impression that it's like she knew that her husband is?
Oh yes. Well, if you are telling us the cause of my husband's death without an autopsy, it means that you know that the thing will kill him. Do you understand?
Now say you are to me, but now we could have no worry.
Now could you are in a way who are there be menkasi mwaru o twembo sumi nkro ama ye hu sa mpasa wonyi mana wonyim so obe delay ba me yiri hu na ochina metime anya obi achichire me yire amba gu wa mo tweme ma bodam na kame fam be ma hye me ayi oti asekura na obi ire na chale stop this hypocrite life you are living. Faithfulness is to you and not to everybody. It's a choice and it's a personal decision. So, madam, shut up. Sorry, shut up.
It's a choice.
When you
Bible
choose, Bible can say that. Bible can say that.
Bible says you shall not commit adultery.
Adultery means what?
What for you?
What for when you? Who found it? Only na yasin na go find it.
Bible can say who do you know? I ask the question.
And I'm saying faithfulness is to who?
It's to everybody.
No, it's not to everybody.
It's every married person in the Bible.
No, I choose to be faithful.
I will not go to hell for it.
Hell? Why are you going to do in hell? Is there any hell?
So the pastor that you are doing, how are you doing it? If there's no heaven and hell, then why are we?
No, is there hell? I'm asking you.
Are you not a pastor? Are you not supposed
to?
No,
I'm asking you. Is there hell?
Yes, the Bible says there's
They told you there's hell.
The Bible says.
Did they describe hell for you?
Yes,
so you know how hell is.
Yes.
Are you in hell now or in heaven?
No, we haven't gone there yet.
So what you are experiencing now and what they told you.
I think I'm somewhere in between.
Thank you very much. So you're already in hell. What are you going to do in heaven?
So you think this one is going to be the Brian Bray?
So I'm saying that did they tell you what hell is?
Yes.
And what you are experiencing now, is it equivalent to?
Please, I am not going through fire.
So the only the thing is not through fire. Have you made requested for both and the application keeps rolling and where you're standing is dangerous before, does it look like hell? Abna, you are in hell.
I was the left manager. I was children. We have 7 days. So we're already there.
If you are waiting to go to heaven, change your mind, because a man who doesn't have a son will not go to heaven.
Hey.
Maybe our own Bama Dan, own Kosra, what kind of yeah, it's biblical. I greet all side chicks. Keep on managing people's husband, because it is a gateway to heaven.
Hey.
Abna, we're talking about how to manage a side chick. Yeah. And I think, sorry. Side chick. She has side chicks. And remember that your position as a side chick is as a result of the main wife in the house. Without a wife, you can't be a side chick. So greet them and pray for them that they will continue marrying the man that you are going out with. Otherwise, you won't be a side chick. All right. So, stepchildren. Managing stepchildren. We only know they are stepchildren because their mother or their father is not in the marriage. A stepchild is known by only one parent in the marriage. From the beginning of the relationship, we have a way we treat these children before we become wives in the house. How do we treat them before we become wives? For example, Abna is not married and she's coming to visit me and I have a child already. When you are coming, you show the child a lot of pregnancies. Drinks are bread. What will be our bread? Yamana top bread no say or yoba. And obi any will be show be but sing on one gasa. Now a pepi no bra ye bread say yeba ye pese a jumana ye babe wa wadi na seno. Yambo ya humodin na enkolanin ji yentum. Yamu bebre nso no ye jitu mu se ansa na ye benya asumje wa wade mu no. Jesi agije abofra no so. Enti oba na wonni ba no. Utumi jije abofra no so saa. Oba na be wo di a na ye se utan abofra no. What's the difference now? Because when you are there now, you just so akoye day.
I don't know
na me wo me ba ani obi ba why na de na yegije no so ukunu ba anya wo ba ukunu ba anya wo ba. Keep the statement in your head. Ukunu ba anya wo ba oyire ba anya wo ba ni nyina ye hweso ma me eti ya no ba se hweso ma me se usua se ne hweso de edi kan. Last 2 weeks, me did come catch you say, answer we better say, we am a stepchild. Not just say, either say one parent is not present in the marriage circle. Now, answer we are number from who say we are stepchildren. Not just about friend wabani nya omo papa. So you can only refer to a step sibling when the father is not your father.
So steps are only for maternal.
So maternal, only your mother's child is your step sibling. Anytime your father has any child out there, that child is not your step. That is your sibling. You can give that person a blood donation when the need arises. So we are saying that immediately a woman decides that there is a certain man that has a child and I still want to go ahead and marry him. Or immediately a man decides to marry a certain woman that has a child and still want to marry. The first thing is that make sure that the child has a connection with the father or the father's family. Especially with a woman. Never marry a woman whose child has no connection with who the father is.
And why is that?
Because if you do that, your home will never be peaceful.
Why?
Okay. Abner, you have a child, I want to get married to you. One of the good things that I should know is that I'm not coming to take care of somebody's child. I am coming to take care of you.
Okay, as in a Kolano, what if the man is no more?
The family should have a connection.
So they must take care of the child.
Or you don't know. The fact that your mother and father are no more doesn't mean there's no family for you. The family is bigger and greater than your father and mother. That is why you don't name children by yourself. Do you get what I'm coming from?
Yeah.
People think she's pregnant. She's not. Because this one, when she's pregnant, she doesn't salivate. Thanks for the message.
Okay,
So what I'm saying is very simple. That first thing you want to do is that if you're a young lady listening to me right now on radio or watching me on Facebook, and you have a child and still you want to have a husband in your life, make sure you are not looking for a father figure for the child, but you're looking for a husband. And when you're looking for a husband, you should be able to define the state of the child in your life. When the child has no connection with the father's side, look, it's difficult to marry a woman who has named the child after herself.
Because you have to take care of the child too.
No, I come, I want to marry, have a child, and the child is writing your surname. That's your father's name.
Will change the child into your name.
To whose name?
Your name.
Why are you don't love the child?
I love the child, but you are the new father figure in the
How
house.
do I become new? I'm a new father figure, but where's the father?
Maybe the father is dead.
When the father is dead, it doesn't mean there's no family. Keep that in your head.
Some families don't take care. Oh, I need back on to me, but
if you have a family listening to me and they are not taking care of the child, they don't have a law.
No, wait. Does the law hold any family say? Will nephew be a baby? Does the law hold you now when you was doing mistake? You were not there. Hold you accountable. Say you must take care of that child.
You are writing Lutford, and the family knows that they have named a child called Lutford, and then you know I have a child with you, and I'm no more. So the family say once I'm no more, their family is gone. Say so.
I mean, say you are my family, but it doesn't mean I have to come and take care of you.
It's my family's responsibility to take care of me. You can sue them, and then, yes. It's easy. I mean, the men shall pass every bow. The Quasibi back, Nebusia for Chiriqua, no motion, Safa. 1 or 2 7. 1 and come from. Sorry, no, Zebra Hobay. Obi can say, no, a Jama, Nkola Maba, Vacuum. You're talking about so. The ambassador Michelle said, so in the first place, or baby, Apostle Wally, make sure that you are able to define the father of the child. Number 2, who define the Quran Papa now? Who the care the father is giving to the child.
So just fees are nice.
That's it. Or rent or money feeding fee. Akolana or marry or the cost. Establish those protocols. It's your baby. I would tell you, baby, I show you something before to our friend. We are within it by 4 hours of friend.
What if she's equipped to take care of the child?
She's equipped. The fact that you are equipped to take care of the child, you have no right to name a child. Anybody named by your mother, you will suffer on earth.
But what if the boy once a boy you know catch a man no wire? The man
Abna me do
Sebi no
Abna me nyemo na me kwa as a son who am I now?
So wait, you didn't want to have anything to do with a child. After I told you I was pregnant, you literally ghosted
because our sexual intercourse was meant for fun, not for pregnancy.
But I should name the child after you.
Because
you are not there for the child.
Hello.
Hi.
The father of the child is not the one who has a name, but the one who impregnated. Because the DNA is not about the name, it's about the blood relation.
So you want the honor?
I don't want the honor. In the first place, me and you, our sexual intercourse was not meant to bring us pregnancy. It was for fun.
Why didn't you use condom?
And why didn't you also be on a pill?
I didn't mind getting pregnant.
So you didn't mind getting pregnant. So you know what you have in your mind. That you want to bring a child into this world.
You know some people
that you have not planned for. Hello.
It still doesn't.
No, you are talking about after that it doesn't work. It means that it is still a mistake. Because once you took a pill, you are not ready for this and it has happened. So it's unwanted.
So I should handle it by myself.
Hello. Nobody's here handle it by yourself. It's unwanted and we have to take a decision on the child. And you want to take a stand. A decision is not a stand.
So abortion, maybe I also won't pack abortion, meaning say my life is at risk. Maybe I'm in person may abortion because I might die. Also say because I've taken a stand, that means we are not discussing any well, you decided that you want to keep the child. It doesn't change the father of the child, does it? So because you don't want it. So you decided to keep the child. Does it change the father of the child? No. So why won't you still give the name of the child? The man that doesn't want the child. You see, you don't get a connection. If you love the child, you give the child's father's name to the child, whether the man likes it or not. So that
as posterity will judge all of us, the child will grow to come and know who the father is, and that's what the blessing is. But based on this anger and misunderstanding, in Bebreno, we ewo kwan so na afi de modin kwala modin mu maame mu papa ni mudin ato kwala no and kwala ni nyi afi de na omo to be fani omo center and orientation.
But we have children who are papa no man from omo yi papa fo ni di efi omo di
obi a wonyi ayu papa din fu din su bia na se nya be yie na nya obi na atu fo boni na se onye ni papa and na you papa din fu din so so a onye yie da.
That's like 0277
6096444 no kura ne kan ye din ba obetie etwu se makoyira wa the here is a say Gary Crawford they might be for friend go be 0277 Crawford they do any by 609 and you go be York Gary 644 0277 609 644. I said Tonga Tali is still in existence. You see, everybody is said and Kwalana Giafa. Tonga Tali will hopa opebia beji. Ginger honey chips in the area for Kai said the scholarship is still available. Let me take the opportunity to say thank you to all of you who have congratulated me, and for both of you, those of you who have decided not to.
We didn't and then that come and see him.
I want to keep my cool. You don't have a WhatsApp?
No.
Okay.
No, you
don't have
you
a WhatsApp.
Don't my new number.
No, you have a new number.
Yes.
You have a new number.
Yes.
You have a new number.
Yes.
You have a new number.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a new number.
Yes.
Okay. No, I mean you have a new number, Abna. You Abna have a new number.
027.
No, you have a new number.
60. It's a counselor, Dr.
No, you have a new number.
Respect.
I pray to God that you will be in distress and come with a new number, and I will respond. Because I know your number for how many years now?
It's there, but it's not that the phone that number is in his
phone. No. So after marriage, you can't maintain your old number.
No, it's there, but the phone nation will not say. And
so
no,
but unfortunately, the phone that contains your old number is not working.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the new number cannot take the old number.
No, I can't put the same inside.
Because this is a marital phone.
It's not, is there anything called marital phone?
But that is what, because you didn't have any number when I knew you. So after marriage, you got a new number.
I'm the one that you did Abna.
This world, we shall grow and will not die now because Abna has a new number.
Oh, fine.
Abna has a new number.
Before nothing. What's my name? Hey, why are you?
Abna, can you take off your noise for me to continue my conversation?
Okay, yeah.
All right, so the conversation is straightforward, and we'll continue here as usual as we do it. Welcome once again. But I'm saying that most of you will not understand this. Most women have decided to name children after themselves, thinking that it is they who suffered, and that's why they are naming their children. If you're writing your mother's name, rush and go and change it right now, because you will suffer. You will suffer. It's not the devil. I'm telling you, you will suffer. If you're writing your mother's name, you will suffer. It means that your grandfather had sex with your mother and gave birth to you. Please, you understand what I'm saying? You are confused and angry, but it's okay. Look at your name. It happened in this country where a young man who was very prominent and was a popular musician, the mother had a child with the father and angrily brought the child to Accra and brought the child to a house in Usu because the mother was a girl. And the family house kept telling the boy that because the child was called Amwa. And all of a sudden, they brought the child to be called a certain name. Look at the pain. The pain is that can you get my ginger blah? The pain is that it's very important, but this is the pain. The young man has gotten married, and after the marriage, he has named the wife after the mother's name. He didn't know that he was not called the name that he was writing. He was not called Kwating. It was the mother. He was not called Kwating. It's the mother that brought him to town and called him Kwating, and now he has Mrs. Kwating. And as a result of Mrs. Kwati, the children are Kwati. He has changed everybody's name. One mistake that the mother has done has affected everybody. I would like to encourage you that if a man impregnates you, no matter what the condition is, no matter what the pain is, make sure you do your best, but allowing the man to name the child. When the child is named after the father, they grow to become proper and unique in town. Because whilst you were a clot of blood in your mother's womb, that is where God knew you and knew that you become a prophet. So, women, never use your anger to name a child that is not for you. If we are not ready to keep the child, take the initiative and do the needful. If it's termination, you will do your choice. If not, protect yourself so you don't have unwanted pregnancy. Because there are three types of pregnancy. We have one. One is called unwanted. The second one is called planned, and the third one is called unplanned. So that's my conversation with you. That the way the child came will help you enough to be able to, as it were, gather enough information to protect the child. So most of us, before you decide to get married, before you decide to go into any marriage circle, whilst you know you have a child, plan it in the right way. Let the child have a connection with the father. And always remember that I am not looking for a father figure for my child, but I'm looking for a husband. So I said that the last time. Today I'm saying that let the child have a connection with the father or the father's family. Now, once you make the child get connected to the father or the father's family, then the story will be told properly. The story will be told well. And when a story is told well, it makes you also become very important in the eyes of your child. Most of us have gotten the problem we have gotten right now because the children are no more in holding trust with us. Our children are hating us. Our children don't want to see our faces again because we lied to them. Why do we say we have lied to them? We didn't let them know that their father was alive. We didn't tell them that their father was still the most important personality in society. They didn't know that their father is actually the counselor literate that was walking on the surface of the earth. So I want to say it again, that the first thing you do is let the child know the family that they belong to. Don't force the child to be a guy, even though the father is a fanti. Don't make the child a by force ewe, even though the father is a guy. It is haram. It is an abomination. It's very painful to do that. So establish the connection with the child and the father. And when that establishment is done, the child will grow to understand that whatever decision you took it because of your sanity. But let me tell you, most of us we take decisions not because of our sanity, because of our emotions and what we are going through. It's not every pregnancy that is kept. There are some that when you keep them, it doesn't keep you. There are some that when you keep them, it keeps you. So weigh between the two before you take such a decision, especially when the intercourse is not meant to produce a child, while the child becomes unwanted. Make sure you don't give an unwanted child the opportunity to live and make that child comes to suffer. Because most of us, the children we are having, when they talk to us, we end up saying that, I don't know where the father is. And I hear most women will tell the children, I don't know where your father is. If you really want to live well, focus on your education, go to your school and become somebody in future. But how can a child grow to become somebody in future without the father's connection, without the father's blessing? It's important for you to know that the father's blessing cannot be given by any other thing or any other person. The father's blessing is the authentic blessing that causes a child to grow and become better. If you don't believe in the marriage, if you don't believe in the husband, if you don't believe in who the man is, let the child believe in who the father is. Never allow a child to fight for you instead of being a child and begin to fight as a wife. It doesn't make sense. Don't allow a son to fight for you. Instead of him fighting as a son, he's fighting as a husband. Why? Because the problem going on between us should not be incorporated with the lifestyle of our children. Water is life. Let me clear my throat. As I clear my throat, let me chew ginger honey chips. and remind you that Tonga Tali is still in the building. What a crispy ginger honey chips. This morning I gave one of the ambassadors in Ghana ginger honey chips. And as I chewing the chips, he's been laughing since morning till I left him around 4:20. It's medicinal and very important. Abraham, thank you for coming. God bless you. I've seen you. Thank you so much. Welcome. Hit the screen and let's do it together. So we are discussing how to manage a stepchild. Right now, as we are speaking, a lot of women have stepchildren just because maybe the marriage didn't work or they didn't like the marriage and took a decision to go. Don't stay in a bad marriage because of the children and you think that when you leave the marriage, the children will go wayward. That is not true. There are people who have stayed in marriages and the children have gone wayward and gone bad. Rebecca, Isaac, Esau, and Jacob. There's 4 people. Rebecca and Isaac married. They had Jacob and Esau. At the end of the day, how come when Isaac wanted to bless the older son, it ended up that the mother took the decision to listen to what the father was telling the elder son and cook the meal for the husband and ended up seeing the husband blessing the wrong one? If the two of them were living in peace as husband and wife, why would the husband ask for a meal from a son through the son and not through the wife, but still ate the wife's food? So if you force a relationship to be in the name of I don't want the children to go wayward, in the name that I don't want the children to become bad children, in the name that I believe that when I stay together with their father, the children will become good, you end up rather destroying the future of the children because you will want to live a life of pain, a life of anger. You want to live a life pleasing the life of the children, and you are not a happy person. If you hate the man, if you can't stay in the same room with the man for less than 5 minutes, then I encourage you, leave the marriage. I know most of you are using the men as your project work. You are waiting for the time you will drop him off. But I say these things don't work. I've said it before and people don't agree with me. That the man was created with a certain level of ego. So if you think that his mistakes are what you are waiting for him to correct so that the relationship can continue, forget it. Forget it. It won't happen. So don't live in the marriage circle in the name of the children being okay and end up destroying your future. Which means having stepchildren will forever come as part of our lifestyle, not because some people are bad. How do stepchildren come into the life of women? Can get pregnant knowingly or unknowingly. People can plan that they were going somewhere and all of a sudden some pregnancy will hit them and it becomes a problem for them. Somebody too can have a guy in their life. After the guy impregnates them, they are knocked down by a motorbike and then they are no more. So a lot of issues can happen. Some too can marry, and after some time, they will lose their husband. And once they lose their husband, they go through widowhood, right, and their children already, and they have to marry again. So you are marrying somebody's ex-wife, but with children. So stepchildren can come in many ways. There are other men that they have not married, but they are impregnating women here and there, left, right, center. And as a result of the pregnancy, they are also producing some particular children within the world that we're living in. So they are producing a lot of children, and that is where somebody have given you a child, and so you have become a baby mom. You understand? Because there's a proverb that says that children will always want to follow their mother because that is where they have the peace of mind, as compared to following their father. So it is inevitable. It is not wrong again, and it is not more too worrying again that you find women, beautiful girls with one child. The painful part is that most of the people I know have gotten one child, and it's not that they are doing one child project, but after the one child, they have waited for Mr. Right for too long, and they've ended up looking for children and they are not getting. There are a lot of women too who are in marriage right now, and in the first 2 years of their marriage, they decided never to take seed. Now they want to have pregnancy, and the pregnancy has eluded them that they are struggling to have. Some too, they have children already, and they kept the children with their grandmother or the children's grandmother. The children don't have any connection with them. I told you about the lady who was growing and thought that the auntie was and rather saw the mother as the auntie and saw the auntie as the mother. So when the mother gave birth to her, things were not right. The man who impregnated didn't have what it takes to give that woman 20 Ghana cedis a week or a month. So what happened was that the story was told that the auntie then, they were rich, very influential. The husband was working with the bank, and so everything was okay. So the auntie didn't have a child there with the husband. So they pushed their daughter, the child who was born out of wedlock, to the auntie. And the auntie took good care of this girl before the auntie's first child came. So when the auntie's first child came, they came to meet their big sister, AC, and they all thought that AC is their big sister, and that is the real child of their mother's sister. So on the day of marriage, when AC has now gone to the university, graduated, and is working with one of the banks in Ghana, a young man came and wants to marry AC. And during the marital arrangement and at the event, the mother, the auntie, insisted that until the mother comes, she will not agree for the marriage to go on, and rather the auntie, who is the mother, who is the auntie, also agreed that the mother must come. And when the mother came, she was upset that how on earth should the mother wait for the auntie before they proceed? Who is at all this auntie? By then, she was battling with a certain illness. That is the auntie. And so the auntie and the daughter or the niece or the nephew, the girl is what? Is the girl the nephew or the niece? The girl is the niece and the boy is the nephew. Which one is what? Can you correct me? Because I don't know the English. If your auntie's daughter is what? Is it your niece or your nephew? So whatever it is. So they are waiting for the auntie. Apparently, they are waiting for the mother. Seriously. So they had a traditional marriage. And during the traditional marriage, somebody passed a statement that unfortunately she had. Okay, so that's a niece. Thank you very much, Barbara. So the girl is a niece. But she ignored. So during the program, when the mother came, they were having a chat, and the mother made a statement that insinuated that she is not an auntie, but she is the mother. The girl broke down. She became very upset. She became very angry. And she said she will never believe. Why have they hidden this truth from her till she's 29 years? Why have they made her believe that her mother is her auntie and her auntie is the mother? Oh, yes. And she was damn angry, fighting everybody. Just about 24 hours to 48 hours of her marriage, she's down, she's broken. It is not the mother that told her. It was one of the family members that told her that God is wonderful. If they didn't give her to the auntie to come and live with the auntie could have not had a child at all. And if they could have left her with the mother, today that she has become a pharmacist, she would never have grown to become a pharmacist. It's painful. So I'm saying that there are times that if we don't disseminate the information at the right time, the children will grow to hate everybody around them. So let's connect it well. Let's make it possible and clean that the children will know who their mother is, who their father is. A young girl walked to me some years back, about 3 or 4 years ago, and was shocked that the grandmother is not the mother. Because immediately the mother delivered her, before age 1, she saw herself with the grandmother. And she has lived her total life to 27 years. I met her with the grandmother. And the mother is living somewhere with this another set of siblings that she started with a certain man. And their agreement was that the daughter was too old, so will never ever visit them and the siblings in the house. If that girl could have come, the girl could have been a stepchild. So that's why I said it today to Abner that if you want to see who is a stepchild is a child that is having a step sibling, rather. So a step sibling is the one whose father's child is not the child, but the mother's child. Now, based on all these assertion and conversation, we have come a long way to realize that we need to build ourselves with all positivity. And in our quest of building ourselves with all positivity, some truths can be said, some must be ignored. So before you are able to produce a stepchild, please help yourself by connecting the child to his or her family, then use English, so that the family will know that they have an offspring here, they have a child here with a certain woman, and they will find ways and means to feed and to support that child. So don't hide the child is the next thing from the guy you want to marry. Let the guy who wants to marry you know that you have a child already, and the child is 7 years. I think that if you are not going through any condition that will bring you bad answers in future, you can ignore going for that information, because it's very important that you keep these things with you very well. So knowing the man who impregnated you is also another issue. Because I know most people will want to stay, not giving that particular timing and working on themselves, and will end up giving the child a lazy name like their mother's name. Some too have seen the father of the child walk in power, but they said the way the father looks and the way the father behaves and drinks, if by mistake they release these children to them, the children will never become correct. So as I'm saying, there are so many reasons why you want to keep your child. But one of the reasons that I never encourage you to do is the reason of keeping the child because the husband you are marrying doesn't want to see the child. Don't do something. Don't do something. If you yourself, you have decided to let the child go to the father, if you have decided to let a child grow with a father, don't allow somebody to coerce you and change your mind to do so. Prepare the child very well. Let the child be taught very well. Let the child arrive very well. Because when they don't arrive, and I'm using the word arrive because I'm talking about they arriving, and the arrival I'm discussing here is they having the sense of belonging and knowing who they are. We've come a long way. A very, very, very long way. And in this long one, I want to encourage all those of your opportunity to watch me that do the needful. I might not go beyond the hours that I planned to because I have a lot to do today. But I leave the time that is left to questions. I have 15 minutes. I have 15 minutes. Let me hear you. So Mami Ifua says very sad. Mami Ifua, what is the sadness in this conversation about? That you don't tell the child who the father is, and then a grandmother, a grand auntie somewhere goes to break the news to the child. It destroys the power and the happiness of the child. And I think that We have to find ways of helping, grieving the loss. So don't allow somebody else to tell the child who the father is. Don't allow somebody to snatch the child and go and introduce the child to the father, but rather do the needful. No matter how useless the child's father is, maybe the child's father was not useless the time he was getting married to you, and now he has become. Help us announce his presence and do whatever must be done in the right way. By Benedict. So if you have any question, any contribution, I am all ears. Let me help you because I have 15 minutes more to close. I'm waiting for your question. And we are discussing managing stepchildren. So I'm waiting for your question time based on the act of any area. I don't want to specify it and go and lead you to something else. If you have a question, you can post. I'll read it for you. If you have a question, you can post. I'll read it for you. If you want to come up to, just put in the request and I'll bring you up. I have 15 minutes. I have to do some back movement, but I want to close early. I think I also look tired and exhausted from morning to this time. Do you have any question? If you don't have any question, I don't want to continue the conversation because next week myself and Abida will come, and I don't want to double exhaust what will be said and why that will be said. So if you have a question or a contribution, please pull up here or put a question there. I'll read it. Thank you very much for all of you. Your support today have rendered to me. Honorable Lashmi, Victoria Homer, thank you for your support. I am great and full with your support as well. And the rest of you, all that you have done for me many years down the line, I want to say a big thank you. And so, managing a stepchild is a topic that we had before anything else happened. But I still want to encourage you, don't name your child in your anger. Let the child grow to know what is right. So Mami Info says, I witnessed a friend who got pregnant out of what? So I'm reading Mami Info's story. Mami Info's story says that I witnessed a friend who got pregnant out of wedlock, and the baby's dad did not take responsibility, not even giving the child a name. At the end of the I see lady here. If that's what she wants to write, I see lady, but I don't know that's what she wants to write, and I want to read what I'm seeing. So at the end, the lady, maybe that's what I have to read. At the end, the lady, and then he gave me this guy who is posting, Musa, if you want to do advert on my page, it makes a lot of sense to talk to me. But I'm reading that you are posting thing. Musa, don't do that, okay? Be a nice boy. So let me read. Sorry. Dad did not take responsibility, not even giving the child a name. At the end, the lady went ahead to give the child to the dad's. At the end, the lady went ahead to give the child the dad's name. Yes, that's the right thing that must be done. No, that one is right. So, mommy, it makes sense, and that's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. I'm telling you. Look, if you love the child, you will let the child have a connection with the father. You will not put yourself in the shoes of your father. I hear people. I don't know what English is. I don't know. Maybe one day I have to have people who understand to explain to me. If you are in my shoes, Charlie, wearing somebody's shoes are not easy. So how can somebody be in your shoes? So what is the gender balance? Or when it comes to gender issues, that a woman will tell you, if you are in my shoes, you do more than what I'm doing. I can't be in the shoes of any woman. But the way they feel, the way they think, the way they see cannot be done like the way I do. So your friend has done very well. That finally she's able to identify the type of man and a particular man that has impregnated her and gave the name. I'm saying that you can give the name, even not in the presence of the man's father. Because when words come to words and a DNA is done, everybody will see that the child is for this person. It's hard. It's hard, and so he has reason to display. I don't understand it. It's hard. Even so, he has reason to display. Yeah. Any other contribution, any other message you want to say? Because I told you that I have 15 minutes. Now it's 11 with 5 minutes. I'll end the show here because I don't want to move into the other side of the conversation. Do you have any question? Do you have any contribution? Facebookers, thank you for coming. Thank you for being with me. I'm grateful for your support. TikTokers, I'm also grateful for your support. Thank you for coming. And I'm waiting for the last two messages. And then I'll wrap up and I'll leave. Thank you very much. Mami Efua. I think this conversation must continue. I'll bring it back, especially Mami Efua's contribution. I love it. And by so doing, you'll be able to live together. Thank you very much. Brought to you by Ginger Honey Chips, the chips of the season. If you are in America, call 862-215-2007. Please, if you are there, you want to type the number, type for me. When I type, they warn me for violating community XYZ. So if you are live and you're watching and you can listen to the number, please help me by writing, because I don't see any of my people there. But help me by writing, especially on TikTok, on 862-215-2007. 862-215-2007. 862-215-2007. I'm grateful. Thank you, Bismarck. It's been a long time. Thank you, Abna. 862-215-2007. Thank you so much, Bismarck. And those of you who still want to go a local call in Ghana, the number is 0277 609 644. 0277 609 644. Call me direct. Let's have a conversation. Solve any other issue you have. Thank you, Abna, for writing my number for me. Because when I post it, then they go and do some shakara and say they want to take me off by sign of warning. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Good night. Brought to you by Ginger Honey Chips. 1 pound of jewelry. My bread.